Hey everybody, Tony D with another hot take on the Breathe Act. Now, I know some of you out there are big-time Trump supporters. Some of you in New Jersey just voted for Trump in the primary that he already basically won, but you just so amped up to vote for Trump that you ran out and vote for him anyway. Good for you. But there's something more important you could do until the election in November, and that is write your congressman, representative, senator, and tell them to vote against the Breathe Act. The Breathe Act is another one of these concoctions from the squad, the super hard lefties in Congress, and it's got a bunch of nonsense in it, much like the Green Act. I couldn't remember. There's so much stuff in the bill. It's another one of these utopian vision bills where they're going to tear down everything, every institution, and remake it. One of the things they want to do is abolish ICE. I mean, abolish immigration enforcement and abolish the border restrictions, let anybody in. And by the way, the act also allows undocumented workers, as they call them, otherwise known as illegal aliens. They want them to have a vote in your local elections. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? People who don't live in this country voting in local elections? Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? You know, people who aren't even citizens of this country voting for our elected officials. I mean, nothing bad could possibly happen for that, right? I mean, it's not like foreign nationals will come here, vote for a candidate who will then turn around and give them more handouts. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So, Google the Breathe Act and read as much of it as you can stand. I've read it. I've certainly read enough. And write your congressman, senator, send them an email. They look at these things. Now, they won't look at your email or letter specifically. What they do is they count them up. So when enough people write, enough people call, and if you call, be very polite. Be polite in your emails. Don't get all crazy on me like some of you do in the comments. Be nice. But, you know, they count them up. And if enough people are antsy about something, that message is then delivered to the congressman, senator, or whomever. And they say, well, you know, people don't seem to like this. And, and then the congressman goes, well, I'm not voting for that anyway. It sounds horrible. All right, no, I'm not going to vote for that. This is especially important if you live in a state like mine, New Jersey, and you have blue Democrats. Because a lot of Democrats think that these hard lefties aren't serious. They're very serious. They also think that, well, they're asking for 10 to get 2. No, because once they get 2, then they'll ask for 12. Then they'll ask for 11 or 15 or whatever. They'll just keep asking for more. The hard lefties are taking their cues from Marxists. And the Marxist sort of doctrine says, say anything and do anything to get what you want. It doesn't matter. It's all about getting what you want. And you won't get it by not lying. So they're perfectly willing to lie right in your face and completely. Look at AOC. AOC, she has no problem stabbing you right in the back. Look at what she did to her own constituents with the Amazon deal. She drove Amazon out of New York. They needed that tax money. They desperately needed it. And she helped organize the protest, and then she turned around and said, oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. So, I mean, just like any politician, but see, Marxists are especially destructive because they don't care about who they hurt. Because ultimately what they want is to tear down the whole system. See, if they could tear down just a piece of it, a tiny piece of it, that's like, okay, that's a victory. We'll tear down more later. It doesn't, so you can't give them a concession. You can't give them anything because, you know, if they want to tear down your house and you negotiate with them and say, well, you can break a window, like one pane. They'll go, oh, okay. And then they'll break the pane. They'll go, we should have broken the whole window. And that's all you get. They never let up because their ultimate goal is to topple the state and remake it in their image. Their ultimate goal, I mean, UBI is in this BREATHE Act, a universal basic income, a pathway to universal basic income, starting with people who are undocumented and people who should be let out of prison. Oh yeah, that's in it too. Getting rid of prisons. Offering extra money to local principalities, towns and counties and states who get rid of their jails. Yeah, it's that bad. I don't think they have a chance at hell in passing it, but let's make sure. Okay? So, you're sitting at home and you're like, what can I do? All this craziness is going on. Focus. This is something you can actually do. Write your congressman, write your senator. That's really about it. I mean, Trump's not on board with this, so you're okay there. And it doesn't matter if you're in a state with a Republican senator and congressman. There's 2 senators in each state. Republican senators and congressmen. It doesn't matter, because the Republicans have to be reminded too. People don't want this. They don't. But you have to let them know, because otherwise they'll pass it and then you'll have to go through the process of getting them to get rid of it. Now, I don't think they have any chance in hell of passing this, but what they're doing is the big ask, as Tim Pool puts it. They ask for 100. If they get 2, they're like, oh, okay. So don't let them get even that far. Don't let them drive the wedge in. Write your congressmen and senators now. Send them an email. Say, vote against the BREATHE Act or you'll never vote for them again. Something like that. Be polite. Be polite. Don't be threatening. Don't say anything crazy. Don't say anything crazy. Be nice. It's like a business letter. Otherwise, they dismiss you. If you don't know who your congressmen and senators are, you can go to the website. I believe I want to say it's like congress.org or something like that. But you can go there. You can punch in your zip code, and pops right up, and you'll know. And they even have a thing there. You can email them all pretty quickly. If you know their names, you can go to their individual websites and email them from there. That's usually a little more effective. If you're a constituent, make sure you tell them that. Okay? Well, you should be. I'm telling you to email your congressmen and senators. So make sure you tell them you're a constituent, because then they know you're a voter. Then they care. If I email a guy in California, he's not going to care that I live in New Jersey. My vote doesn't matter to him. He's not running on a national stage. Make sure you write your congressman. These are things you can do right now during these topsy-turvy times when people are burning down cities and statues and whatnot. Which, by the way, don't be too upset by that. I know, well, if you live in a city, obviously you're very upset. But unfortunately, these cities, unfortunately, have had it for a long time in coming. They are run by Democrats almost exclusively. And you've got nobody to blame but yourself if you live in one of these areas and you voted for a Democrat. They're allowing this to happen because they're that desperate to hurt Trump. They know they have to do something major to him in order to make it so he doesn't win. And they would love to cripple the economy enough so he has to spend his entire second term trying to build it back up. Just imagine if they cooperated with him. Just imagine. It would be remarkable. And I think this is one of the reasons you're going to see a repeat of the UK election. You're going to see the Democrats lose races they never thought they were going to lose. And deservedly so.